Hello everybody, welcome to another True Review. I'm of course True, your Million G Gamer, and this is a review for Where Are My Friends on the Xbox One. It's currently out on the Xbox right now for you to buy for the price of £4.79, and it's published by Sometimes You, who are flooding the Xbox store at the moment with games, and this one's published by a new developer that I've not come across before called Beard Game Studios. So what is Where Are My Friends then? Let's have a look. So the description says, Eye on the Ball, names Wheye, bit of a grammatical error there, had come to the planet where his friends studied local species. His friends went missing, the planet is about to blow, and only Wheye can save everyone. He will still have to face different trials on his own. Features 4 different genres in one game. Every level is a separate genre, a runner, Metroidvania. I must have missed that level. Point and click, quest, and puzzle platformer. Puzzle platform? I think I missed that level as well. Game without words. The plot will be understandable to each one of you since the story is told without using a single word. Unique visual style of each level. Colourful graphics created using different tools from hand drawing to CG flat design. An atmospheric soundtrack, original music which builds up enjoyment. Okay. Received from playing the game. So, you start off Where Are My Friends, and you're in a 2D plane. You control this eyeball on wheels, so that's probably why it's called Wheye, which is a rubbish name, to be honest with you. When you first start, I thought we was going to be in for kind of like a little puzzle adventure, because I didn't read the description before I started actually playing it for review. But that first section is very odd. You just literally follow lifts with symbols on, and then it shows you need an item, and there's a lift with that item symbol on. You go up or down that lift, interact with something, which then leads you on to the next item. Long story short, you do that section, and then you actually get to the game's mission hub. Because quite why that first section even exists, I've absolutely no clue whatsoever. You then have a wheel with 4 levels to choose from, and this is where the 4 genres come into play. So I'm going to go through it in the order I actually played them in. So the first level is a side-scrolling platformer where you're in a really drab, brown, dark, really poor-looking rubbish cave, and you have to activate, I think it's 8 switches, which are down various shafts, either up or down from the main corridor. I'm just trying to think for my words here. This is horrendous. There's spikes everywhere. There's spikes on poles, spikes on walls, spikes on the underside of lifts, spikes on the top of lifts, spikes in pits. There's rock spewing cannons firing at all different angles in all different configurations, and you have to activate these set number of I think it's generators or keys, whatever, to open the main corridor door. The hit detection is absolutely appalling. You die from hitting side of spikes, you die for hitting spikes you could have swore you didn't hit, you die from hitting the rocks when you definitely clear air in between yourself. So the hit detection is absolutely way off in this. It controls abysmal, the controls are very skiddy. The jump has a nasty habit of a bug where you sometimes do a double jump. You don't double jump, but when you land, you automatically jump again without your input of doing so. So that can lead to an awful lot of deaths as well. You hit checkpoints by hitting these other kind of like sub-generators, which you'll get sent back to, and you can trigger those in any order once you've unlocked a few of them to go back to your desired location. But it's just not a fun experience. I streamed it the other night, and I was on that for about 2 hours at that level. It was an absolute horrendous platforming experience, one that I never want to experience ever again. And I was going to give up on the game at that point. I didn't even realise it was 4 genres, but I thought I will give the second level a go. Moving on to the second level, again, all that I did these in. The second level I did is the best level of the game. It's a mini graphic adventure. It's, you know, like the old Monkey Island type of games. It's one of those kind of things where you have to move around using an icon or using an arrow, and move him around a series of about 10 rooms, I think there is, interacting with objects, puzzle objects, and then placing them in the correct places to solve puzzles which get you more objects, and so on and so forth, until you manage to get the key. Now this is definitely the best genre, the best game, the best part of the game. It's short. This level takes about half an hour to do. The puzzles, with there being no verbal communication, it can be a little bit confusing, and some of the things are a little bit like, why does that work with that? But it's quite easy, this section. Obviously you can't die in this section at all, and there is an achievement connected to this for using all the items, so there probably is a way, which I didn't find out, how to complete it without using all the items for some reason. The major criticism in this area is, it's an old school criticism that old school games of this type used to have. You don't know what's interactive. There's so many jumble of items on the screen, you don't know what's an item to pick up and what's not, and what you can interact with, unless you completely do a systematic search of the actual screen to find out the interactive spots and what can be picked up. So like I say, this is the best genre. Then I moved on to the third level, which is the endless runner level. Well, it's not endless, but it's a runner level. Split into 6 parts, 3 of each type. The first levels 1, 3, and was it 1, 3, and 5? No, there's 5 sections. Sorry, I think. I can't remember anyway. It doesn't really matter. It's all horrendous anyway. There's side-scrolling sections and there's top-down sections. The side-scrolling sections work okay. Nothing to remark about those. There's platforms to jump with spikes on yet again, and there's also these plants which fire when you get close to them. They fire left, then diagonally up, and then to the right, so you have to work your way about jumping over those. The side-scrolling sections play okay-ish, not a problem. There is some annoying Flappy Bird kind of sections when you jump into some water on the later sections, but nevertheless this plays okay-ish. The problem with this runner level comes when you go into the top-down levels. The platforming in this section is absolutely horrendous and off, especially when jumping over water. There's islands floating in the water, moving left, right, up, down, you name it, they're moving in that direction. And sometimes when you jump, bear in mind when you jump, because it's an endless runner, you're running at the same speed constantly. You do a jump, you will jump the same distance each and every time. Yet the game, when you're over water, sometimes just decides to kill you. It says you're not making that jump, even though you're jumping at the same spot every time. Sometimes you're even jumping closer than what you did previously and made the jump, and it just decides to kill you. So these top-down sections are absolutely horrendous. One thing of note I would say about this runner section, the graphics on this bit are good. They're hand-drawn, they're done by crayons, like kids' crayons, like Crayola, and I really like the look of these levels. It's just a shame that the game and this play in this bit is dreadful once again. Now the fourth and final part, I don't know how to describe it. You've literally got a series of chambers. I didn't count how many there was, as by the time I got to the end of it, I was about to pull my own ears off my head and gouge my eyes out. But this last section is best described as you're in a series of chambers. There's warp zones all around in the rooms, and you have to drop into a warp zone which takes you to another warp zone, and that may then drop into another warp zone, it takes you to another warp zone, etc., and negotiate the rooms in that way. There's yet again our favourite friend spikes, there's laser beams, there's things firing all over the place, and when you get about a few rooms in, it again gets very hectic with different colour portals leading to different parts of the map. And also there is portals that actually change location on a rotating basis. Now graphically this section is very, very basic. You've got the character, you've got laser beams, you've got the coloured portals, and there's a little bit of background graphics going on there, but nothing to write home about. I mean, I'm going to try it. I'm going to put the relevant footage to the levels I'm talking about alongside this commentary, so you can actually see what I'm on about, really. But this section again plays dreadfully. It's you'll die loads and loads of times in it. There's loads of randomness in it because the momentum when you come out of the portals, which is required to do a lot of the chambers, is inconsistent, and the timing of it, you've got to be so precise, and it's absolutely crazy. So once you've done that, you've got all the 4 keys and you've completed the game. You've found all of Wheye's friends. But yeah, it's just a complete mess of a game. Each of the genres is just really poor, apart from the graphic adventure one, which is just barely passable. But yeah, it's just a terrible experience. The developer would have been better, in my opinion, just concentrating on one genre and making one strong gameplay element rather than 4 very, very poor, frustrating elements. Graphically throughout, it's very poor, apart from the graphic adventure level. That's pretty decently done. I mean, it's basic, but it's done to a reasonable standard compared to the rest of the game. And the hand-drawn levels of the runner levels are very nice to look at. Like I say, it's just a shame the gameplay that goes with those is absolutely terrible. Musically, very annoying. The music tracks loop. The runner level especially has this annoying song with somebody going hey something or other. I can't remember. I just kind of block it out of my memory. But the sound is completely unremarkable. The sound effect very basic, and it just adds to the frustration of the game. Now the kicker is, there's a lot of easy achievements to have in this game if you're an achievement hunter. But there's the kicker. Each of the levels I've spoke about, bar the graphic adventure level, you have to complete without dying. As the game stands, I can't see how this is humanly possible. I've seen people complete some really, really hard shit in my time, you know, really hard platforming stuff, but this game has inconsistent controls, it has inconsistent mechanics, inconsistent physics, and the levels go on forever and ever and ever. So if anybody completes these, I would be absolutely amazed. Probably the only one that somebody could complete is probably the first cave level, and that would be taking extreme care. But really, the game is so broken and the controls and hit detection so inconsistent, for anybody to complete each of these levels without dying once, if they do it, a hands out to them. But honestly, it would be an exercise in extreme frustration, and because of the broken mechanics basically. So what am I going to give Where Are My Friends then? Well, I think you can probably guess now. We're going to award this game the Disaster Award. Don't buy this. It's only £4.50 to buy, but your £4.50 is better off on anything else really other than this. It's just a terrible piece of software, and I can't recommend this at all. So thanks for watching everybody. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next review.